can you just detail for us just the focus? Obviously, I'm assuming it was defense again, but just what have you been talking to the guys today about? With this extra practice time you've been given.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec, Will. But it's really hard to sit here and talk about basketball games, let alone practice when we just lost one of your colleagues who's one of the best people that I've ever been around. And I got a chance to work with him every Friday night last fall. Sekou and I worked together. I had known him back from when he was a beat writer in Atlanta, but really got to know him last year. And just a great person, cared about other people, great sense of humor, positive, upbeat guy, extremely intelligent. And some of you undoubtedly knew him even better than I did. I had that short few months where I got to see him a lot. And I found out about an hour before practice. And the tough thing for me was that last night, Mark Spears has been keeping me updated. And last night, the news, right about the time we canceled the game, Mark had texted me, and the news was positive. It sounded like things were getting better. And so when I got, after our staff meeting today before practice, when I got the text from Mark and then from Andrew also that Sekou had passed, I mean, it just hit hard. I think for all of us, this COVID thing has been painful, to say the least. But when you lose somebody that and that you admire and respect, and who's young, I mean, he might not be young by some of your guys' definitions, but young by my standards. I mean, it's just really, really hard. I mean, and this thing is so scary, and it's brought so much grief to so many people. And today is one of those days. There's a lot of people grieving a great man in Atlanta today with Sekou. So I know I took a few more minutes, and I even forget your question, but that's what's been on my mind since 4 o'clock this afternoon.
No, it's on all our minds right now, and I wonder if you could just share, one of your better memories with Sekou. I know you talked about him, when the news first came out about him being hospitalized. Just one of your better memories of.
Well, on Friday nights last year, when I was on NBA TV with him, he always did his MVP ladder. That was his thing. Every week, the MVP ladder, and it would be adjusted by those week's games. And he would share the stuff he got, the messages from fans on like social media. And it was just hilarious. I mean, people would go after him all the time. And he had such a great way with his fans on social media going back, because I think he's somebody that took his job seriously, but never took himself that seriously. I mean, he understands that what we're doing is in the entertainment business, and he had fun with it, and he had fun with his fans. And I think any of us who had the opportunity to know him or to work with him, I mean, it was a joy going in there every Friday night and knowing you were going to see Sekou. And then the second half of the year when I wasn't going in there, I really missed him. I mean, it was, those were good times. I mean, we lost a great one today. Your profession lost a great one today. And it's just tragic. And, we've made this thing into a political football, this thing. It's not. It's a disease. It's a virus. The virus don't give a damn about your political persuasion. Like this thing is, it just killed another great person. We've killed over 400,000 people. Like, come on, wear a mask, social distance, try to take care of each other the best we can. This is scary and it's tragic. And oh man, yeah, this is tough.
Stan, how difficult has it been to compartmentalize, like just bad things happening in the world while you're also doing a difficult, demanding, challenging job?
No, it's not. It's not hard. Like, you go out to practice today. I had just found out about Sekou. It was hard, like getting started, but once practice started, I mean, it commands your attention. It's sort of an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 25, whatever we were out there. It's a little bit of a respite from the tragedy. And but then as soon as practice is over, you're right back to thinking of it. And it's just, again, I think what hit me more than anything, I mean, it'd be tragic in any event, but it just sounded optimistic yesterday. I mean, everything sounded good. Mark's been really nice, keeping me updated on almost a daily basis, and it just sounded good. So I was just shocked today when I heard.
Hey Stan, it's Andrew. Considering the new, I guess, extra precautions it seems like the league is taking, it seems like that's kind of one of the reasons why last night's game was postponed out of, again, this overabundance of caution. Do you like how I guess the league is kind of trying to take every possible precaution they can to protect players and teams right now?
Look, they're doing a lot of things, and they're trying to do a lot of things to be able to, number one, keep playing and keep making money. And then number two, within that, stay as safe as we can. The bottom line is, you can be pretty safe and follow all those things. It's just tough. I mean, I guarantee you Sekou Smith was taking precautions. He's not one to just say the hell with it. I guarantee you he was taking precautions. I mean, it could be a short interaction with somebody. It just, there's no way to stay totally safe. And so last night, yeah, they canceled out of precaution, and that's probably a good thing. I mean, it just, it's hard to say. We get wrapped up in it and everything, and I'm consumed by it, but there are things more important than the NBA and more important than basketball out there. And if Sekou Smith doesn't drive that point home to all of us, then I don't know what will. And so, yeah, I appreciate the NBA and the steps they're taking, but we're doing everything we can, except we're still taking the risk by traveling and playing. Let's face it. I mean, we are. And we've all decided to take that risk. It's not like Adam Silver, the NBA, is forcing us to. We've all decided. Players, coaches, GMs, league office, we've all decided to take on certain risk for economic reasons. And so we've all got to own that.
Coach, along those lines, hi, by the way, it's Jen. Along those lines, as the season goes on and things like Sekou's passing and the game being postponed, what type of mental, emotional toll is that taking on your players?
Our guys have been good. I mean, they've been good. I mean, again, it's that, being able to compartmentalize. And we talked about it, and I'm sure every other team in the league did too, not just us. Talked about it going into the season, that this was the kind of stuff that was going to happen. You knew games were going to get canceled. You knew things like this were going to happen. You didn't expect the death of somebody like Sekou Smith, but the game cancellations and the testings, I mean, you expected all those things, and it's disruptive. The NBA has a routine, has a rhythm to it, and this year it doesn't. But that's for everybody in the league. So, we're all on equal ground in terms of rhythms being disrupted and everything else. And you've just got to be mentally tough and overcome it and go out and do your job. It's a different season in so many ways.